Welcome to Sira Farm, where we teach you various types of agriculture. So today we will talk about find out what a brooder house is. After watching this video, if you have any questions about the video, you can drop it in comments section and I will reply you immediately. Please, I want to subscribe to this channel and receive free consultation about your farming business. You can also send messages on WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail, because we want to know you and be a partner with you. Our contact is on the description and comments section. Let's start the video. A brooder house is the pen where the birds spend the first 3 or 4 weeks of their lives. Here all necessary conditions for their survival like warmth, proper ventilation, feeds and water are adequately provided. The temperature and humidity are also varied here to adjust to the needs of the birds. Now some farmers will also want to know if the brooding house should be made separate from a grower pen. Well, unless one is constrained by space, it is better the brooder house is made separate from the grower's pen. This will help the farm to accommodate different ages of birds, as chicks will live their lives independent of the growers. It is also helps in curbing the spread of diseases, as diseases are not transferred from the growers to the chicks. Brooder house, in agriculture, heated enclosure to provide shelter for young livestock and poultry. Chick brooders, also called baby chicken houses, are typically wood-framed, wood-floored, movable structures heated by electric or oil-fired stoves and built on skids. The chicks are housed until they are about 6 weeks old, when they no longer need heat. Commercial brooder houses may be very large, having several brooder units, underfloor heat or heat lamps, fan ventilation, automatic waterers and feeders, and large doors through which tractors and litter removing equipment can pass. Meanwhile, below are the proper brooding guidelines to assist your poultry birds' brooding success. Brooding basic tips. Brooding basic 1, litter management. Litter conditions set the tone for the flock long before the chicks arrive on the farm. For best performance, chicks must be placed on a consistent minimum of 4 inches of dry bedding at or around 88-92 F. Anything less will cause losses in performance proportional to the degree of insufficiency. If chicks are not started on fresh litter, steps must be taken to reduce litter moisture and properly condition the litter to release as much ammonia as possible before flock placement. Allowing the litter to set in a house cold and wet between flocks is a recipe for disaster. What to do? Remove caked litter as soon as possible after the birds leave. After this, windrowing, using litter conditioning equipment, heating the litter with attic inlets and ventilating between flocks can all help achieve the goal of dry litter with reduced ammonia at day 1. Top dressing the brooding chamber and applying a company-approved, ammonia-controlling litter amendment at the manufacturer's suggested rate and method is also highly recommended. The goals of litter management are first of all to provide comfortable bedding conditions for the chicks, but also to reduce the effect that litter moisture and ammonia have on the environmental control systems. If we have to manage heating and ventilation to compensate for poor litter conditions, it will be much more difficult, and costly, to provide the optimum growing environment chicks need. Think about it, litter condition sets the tone for air quality, heating, and ventilation through the life of the flock. Good litter sets the stage for success. Learn about poultry farming business through Sira Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on seller.core, view on sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training. After payment, the ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. Brooding basic 2, temperature. Temperature differences as small as 0.5-1.0 F can impact overall chick health, behavior, and growth. Electronic controller technology has given us the ability to monitor and manage temperature that precisely, and do this automatically on a real-time, 24-hour basis. This gives growers a huge management advantage over traditional manual thermostat control. Even so, The old computer adage garbage in garbage out applies to controllers also. A controller's management capabilities are only as good as the information from the sensors it uses. Therefore we must pay close attention to sensor placement. If the ideal starting temperature is 90 F, this means 90 F at the feed and water lines, as consistent as possible. Proper placement depends on the type of heating system and spacing of inlet vents in the house. Proper ideal temperatures can also vary according to individual flock requirements. A good manager always monitors his chicks and makes appropriate adjustments. However, do not expect temperature adjustments to fix every problem every time. Temperature is the most commonly monitored and controlled condition in poultry houses, but the other brooding basics can be just as important to flock performance. Brooding Basic 3, Air Quality. Excess ammonia or carbon dioxide, along with too high or too low relative humidity, can become serious problems, especially during winter flocks. The only way to solve or reduce air quality problems once they have occurred is to increase the ventilation rate. But ventilation decisions should be based on accurate assessment of conditions, and neither controller systems nor growers are equipped to monitor air quality factors accurately. For relative humidity monitoring, inexpensive sensors can be purchased from local hardware stores and placed near mid-house away from heaters and air inlets. Often controllers can be fit with humidity sensors as well. Either way, the goal is to maintain in-house relative humidity at 50 to 65% or during brooding as long American Samoa possible. If relative humidity is below 50% or deduct 15 seconds from minimum ventilation runtime. If it is above 65% or add 15 seconds of runtime. Early morning is an excellent time to judge air quality conditions and make ventilation adjustments, if needed. If unsure, adjust one house and compare the next day. Too high ammonia, NH3, or carbon dioxide, CO2, levels can impact bird health and growth and can be challenging to control in winter but are more difficult for a grower to measure accurately. Because growers become accustomed to smelling ammonia, the nose test cannot be relied on. Birds can suffer and even be blinded before the grower becomes aware of a serious problem. Carbon dioxide is odorless, and it takes a while for humans to experience symptoms, headaches, nausea, and sleepiness, of excess carbon dioxide levels. Therefore, growers typically must make judgments about these factors based on observation of birds and bird behavior. If accurate monitoring equipment is available, ammonia levels should be kept below 25 ppm. A minimum of 15 seconds of additional minimum ventilation runtime should be added to houses testing above 25 ppm and an additional 30 seconds for over 100 ppm. Learn about poultry farming business through Sierra Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded review on seller.core-view-on-sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training. After payment, the ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. Carbon dioxide levels should be kept below 3,000 ppm. Too high carbon dioxide levels are usually highest when preheating and brooding chicks in tight houses during cold weather, when heating systems are running constantly and ventilation runtime is lowest. Fortunately, most ammonia and carbon dioxide problems can be minimized by proper litter management, including use of ammonia suppressing amendments, and adequate minimum ventilation, including control of relative humidity. Brooding Basic 4, Ventilation. Good environmental control during brooding requires properly executing the minimum ventilation basics. 1. Pressure. A good rule of thumb for pressure is for every 0.01 inches of static pressure measured in water column, air travels about 2 feet. To get the air to the middle of the house near the ceiling requires about 0.10 inches of pressure in a 40-foot wide house. This means we have to have a house that can pull 0.15 inches or more during a House tightness test with fan power of 1 cfm per square foot of floor space. 2. Inlet door opening. The required air pressure capability must be combined with the proper perimeter inlet door opening to throw the air to the center of the house. Too little or too wide of an opening will result in outside air blowing directly onto the feed and water lines and, more importantly, onto the chicks. Step 1 of vent management should be to latch close manually all or most of the vents not located in the brood area of the house, after which additional vents inside the brood area may need to be latched closed to achieve the proper airflow with the desired fan power, typically 1.0 to 1.5 cfm per square foot. Bottom line is you have to get the correct inlet door opening and static pressure to achieve the desired air throw and mixing. Latching doors or opening doors can be used as a method of fine-tuning your perimeter inlet setup. A smoke emitter of some type will show exactly where the air is going. Do whatever it takes to get the air to the peak of the ceiling to promote good mixing. The importance of adjusting vent door openings properly to achieve good moisture removal cannot be overemphasized. 3. Fan run time. Finally, it is essential to calculate the correct amount of minimum ventilation fan run time. Brooding Basic 5. Water quality and availability. Having high quality water freely available can make a huge difference in getting chicks off to a good start. One of the first things a grower should do in case of inconsistent performance is to have a water sample analysis conducted. Contact your company or local county extension office for help with water sampling and analysis. If substantial water quality problems are found, a consultation with a respected water quality expert is in order. Water quantity problems can be difficult to diagnose, but a common sense approach to making sure chicks have plenty of water available is to do a good job of routine drinker system maintenance. The importance of getting water into the chick as soon as possible cannot be overstated. This means that cleaning water systems and activating nipple drinkers before every flock arrives is extremely important. Also pay close attention to initial drinker height and make adjustments that reflect bird growth on a routine basis. Chicks will consume a lot less water than older birds, so flushing drinker lines often in the beginning will keep the water fresh and promote greater consumption. Water filters, regulators and any possible water restriction points must be monitored before and during each flock. Do not assume water quality and availability are adequate, verify them. Brooding Basic 6, Feed availability. Feed availability runs hand in hand with water availability and is of equal importance. The quicker chicks have access to and consume quality feed, the better start they will have. The actual amount an individual chick consumes in the first 7 days is very small, so the tonnage of feed in the house on day 1 is not nearly as important as providing access for every chick to easily get to feed. Learn about fish farming business through Sierra Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on sellar.co, review on sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training. After payment the ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. Another way to say this is that feeding space/opportunity is most important. Chicks having sufficient access to feed is more than just feeder pan, chick tray, and supplemental feed lid management. Environmental factors also play a huge role in feed availability, because if a chick is uncomfortable, too hot, cold, or in a draft, near the feed trays or lines, it will not eat or drink sufficiently. This can be a severe problem that must be corrected. Many companies look for about 95% of the chicks with feed and water in their crops after 24 hours. Remember, if a chick is given the choice between comfort and feed or water, it will choose comfort. Make sure every chick gets feed and water quickly and easily. Brooding Basic 7, Lighting. Chicks grow, gain and perform better the quicker they gain access to feed and water, and light stimulation further encourages feed and water consumption. Specific lighting programs are under constant revision and vary from one integrator to another. However, the most common recommendation for light intensity when lighting is on calls for a minimum average light intensity of 3 or more foot candles for the first 7 to 10 days, measured along the feed lines between grow lights. Large shadows, blown bulbs, and insufficient lighting intensity and uniformity are problems that can be identified and corrected with the use of a simple $150 to $200 digital light meter. Learn about fish farming business through Sierra Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on Sellar.co. Review on Sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training. After payment, the ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why Sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. Don't assume your light intensity is adequate, verify it. Buy a meter and calibrate the dimmer in each house. Many growers are surprised at how far off their settings are after they measure them with a meter. The bottom line: each of these brooding basics has evolved and improved into what the industry considers standard procedures for brooding chicks today. Using the tools and equipment available to follow these basic procedures is not just the best but the only way to give your chicks the lift off they need to become a top-performing flock. Growing chickens today is not a matter of managing by the day but by the hour. Mistakes made in the first 72 hours cannot be made up later in the flock. Taking the time to do brooding right pays off at catch time. Do you have any questions, suggestions, or other contributions? Kindly use the comment box provided below for all your contributions. You are also encouraged to please kindly share this video with others you feel can benefit from this information if found useful enough, as we may not be able to reach everyone at the same time. Thank you.